Now that I have a comprehensive list, I am ready to actually look at the traffic of these keywords. To do this, I use Google's keyword tool. Yet there are three things I need to talk about before showing how to use Google's keyword tool. First, there is a fundamental flaw in using the keyword tool for SEO, which is that Google built this tool for AdWords. AdWords, or also known as pay-per-click, is the advertising seen in Google's search engine on the top and right side. Due to this fact, a lot of what is shown is not very helpful for SEO, which I will demonstrate shortly. The second thing to understand is that the traffic numbers Google shares here are just estimations. One might think that these estimations are fairly close to the real traffic numbers, but from my personal experience, this is not the case. In fact, I found their numbers to be quite off. In part 2 of this module, I will show how I minimize this problem. Yet, if the numbers are not accurate, it might seem that using Google's keyword tool may be a waste of time. However, I use this step more to weed out the keywords that have no traffic. I am sure I miss out on a few keywords that actually do have some significant traffic, but with so many keywords to analyze, it actually isn't such a bad thing. I am now just trying to whittle down my starter list to only the best keywords. The final thing to be aware of is that Google can only analyze 2,000 keywords at one time, so it took me a couple hours to go through 26,000 keywords. It's not necessary to do this many keywords, but I enjoy hunting for a diamond in the rough, so I tend to go overboard on my starter list. With that understanding, let me walk you through how I use Google Keywords tool. First, I like to check the box about only looking for closely related search terms. However, if I'm doing more than 200 keywords at once, I will get an error when I begin a search. Google doesn't necessarily make it clear why there is an error, but when I uncheck this box and run my search again, I don't have an issue. I personally don't want to query almost 27,000 keywords in batches of 200. Yet I find I get better results if I can do my keyword hunting in groups of 200 or less. Next, I choose the country I'm focusing my SEO efforts on. I do not recommend selecting the global option, which is all countries. I like to focus my SEO efforts on a local level, which is by country and not on a global scale. I find I receive better data doing this. After choosing the country, I select the language. Again, I like to focus the language around the keywords I'm trying to rank for. The next option is a fairly recent addition to the keyword tool, which is actually really cool, and it is the ability to focus the keywords according to the device being used. What is extremely interesting here is that Google doesn't give the option to focus on all devices. Instead, I can focus on desktop and laptop or mobile. The reason Google is doing this is that SEO is actually different for mobile. This course is around desktop/laptop SEO. I plan to talk with Pluralsight about doing a mobile SEO course down the road. Currently though, mobile garners about 20% of the traffic globally. This is definitely significant and growing, yet desktop and laptop still makes up for 80% of the traffic, and that is why I'm focusing on it first. I foresee the day when a mobile-first approach will be quite common in SEO, but that day has not yet arrived. Finally, the last step before I run a search is to uncheck the default broad match type and select exact. The difference between the two is that a broad match type is search volume for the specific keyword, along with synonyms and other related terms, whereas exact match type is only the traffic of the keyword and very close variations. Now I can run a search and look at the volume and keyword variations Google will suggest. After Google runs a search, hopefully a significant amount of keywords with their monthly local traffic will show. My results actually are different than what Google defaults to. I've set up my results to only provide 2 bits of information. First, I only want the monthly local search in the United States. Often, Google's keyword tool will also show the global traffic, which doesn't help me at all. Google also defaults to the competition found in AdWords for these keywords, which again are not for SEO, so I omit them. The second column of information I request is the approximate cost advertisers pay for the keyword when advertising with Google. This metric doesn't impact SEO either, but it helps me understand even more than the competitiveness exactly how valuable the keyword is. Doing this helps me uncover keywords that have low volume but obviously potential value. Again, it's not always about how much traffic a keyword provides. The final step for me is to actually download the keywords I've discovered, which is found on the drop down here. Another option on this list that I can do is add these keywords to my keyword ideas. This basically is a list that you can create while doing multiple keyword searches. However, I found it to be really buggy, so I just downloaded each search and added the keywords to my starter list. If you followed all these steps, you should have quite a comprehensive list of keywords that show an estimation of traffic from Google